Hello, 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 Dashers. How are you? I know it has been a hot minute, but there have been a few instances that happened over the last couple of weeks. Last week, unfortunately, I did get sick, and from my trip, I got home and literally was down for the count. And normally I don't get sick. So when I got sick, I get sick. And I was down for the count last week. So lo and behold, that's what happened there. But a lot has changed since my wonderful trip, um, my transatlantic cruise. I was having a wonderful time. And we had 7 day crossing. We had 7 days at sea. Ended up in the Azores. Had another day at sea. Was at Lisbon. Another day at sea. Ended up in Cadiz. And then from there we went to the Strait of Gibraltar. Went to Gibraltar, UK. Then we went to Malaga, Cartagena. Um, um, Palma de Mallorca, ended up in Barcelona. I spent one extra day I got there um, in the morning and spent the day and one extra day in Barcelona, then left about 3 a.m. in the morning on Wednesday back home for Houston. So a lot has happened during that time. Um, hey, Brenda. Yes, Brenda, I made it. I'm still alive and kicking. Oh my Lord. Um, yeah, the one week I tried to get on the live and the Wi-Fi was a stormy weather, very rocky seas, 14-foot waves. Yeah, it just was not happening. And then I went to Barcelona and your girl got pickpocketed. Yep, they targeted my 17 Pro Max phone with a good 70% of my footage from my cruise on it. Yeah, I got pickpocketed in Barcelona. Um, so had to fill out the wonderful police report in, Barcelona, all that fun stuff. Thank gosh I did get the theft and loss protection when I bought my phone. I also had my Find Mine, so I was able to immediately lock my phone, wipe it, whatever, ping it, last known locations, things like that. So I did everything within a matter of 3 minutes of losing the phone. So thank goodness that I was prepared for that. Not that you ever want to have that happen, but yeah. Yes, got it cut and colored. Yes. It's now all one nice, here we go. Here's the reveal. Got it cut on ship where it was finally and it was funny because I got on ship and the people that had known me, I got it down on the ship and the person, like one of the persons I came, hey, how you doing, Irina? And she was like, who are you? I don't know you. I didn't speak to you. And I'm like, it's me. She looked at me, she goes, you lost about 15 years. All because I colored the hair and cut it and shaped it. And yeah. So now I have shorter hair. And he took like my whole thing and went boom and took this whole thing and threw it in the trash. I'm like, whoa. So yes, my hair is definitely way shorter. And it's great for summer. Loving it. Hey, Rick's in the house. Hey, Rick. Yeah, I tried to watch last Sunday. Sorry. Yep, the crooks got me. And I'm a seasoned traveler. I knew better. And so luckily like I said, I'm more tech advanced than most, so all of my products were linked together. So I was able to disable my phone within a matter of 2 minutes. I ran inside, ran up, got my iPad, locked everything. So everything got locked immediately. And since I have two factor on everything on my phone, so there was no way that they were going to get in. Immediately changed the passcodes, everything. So yeah, they didn't get anything. Thank God. Well, they did get 80% of my footage from my trip. I am so bummed about that. Luckily, I did have my Osmo Pocket 3 with me, so I did get some footage from Barcelona. But a lot of the places were digital, like El Sagrado La Familia, which is really what I really wanted to go see in Barcelona, was digital. I had a phone to get the tickets, but I didn't have a phone to get tickets. So, yeah, that kind of hindered a lot of things in Barcelona. It really dampened a lot of things. But luckily, I had my phone locked within 3 minutes, and within 5 minutes, I was in the police station. So you'll have to excuse, the dogs are acting up. What else is new? Zeus, where you at? Come here, Zeus. Say hi, Zeus. Zeus, Juicy. Zeus is saying hello. Found out from the vet that his ears will not pop, so he'll be forever Dobby. He'll be forever Dobby. Doc says they're not popping. So I got a deformed chihuahua. But that's okay. He's cute. Um yeah, let's see what nice cut you can do it. Yeah, I told him, I said the only thing I like is I want it at least short enough so I can put it into a ponytail still. Because summer is coming here in Texas. It gets really hot, and I don't like having my hair on the back of my neck. So it is just enough to make it into a ponytail and get it off my neck. So, and it's still cute. So I'll take it. It's definitely a different style. I probably cut off about a good 8, 9 inches, but it was multicolored and all this kind of stuff. Your dog has special ears. Yeah, he's special, all right. Then I got my big guy, my lab still, my father's dog. But then my sister's dog, Mr. Bo, who loves to talk. But yeah, wonderful police report. I am so glad I bought the extra insurance when I bought the phone in January for the theft. I never thought I'd ever use it, but it cost me $150 in a week. I got my phone in a week. Got the new replacement phone. So thank gosh for that. Didn't have to spend, another $1,700 to get a phone. So definitely buy the insurance. I didn't plan on getting my phone stolen, but I was so glad that I did have it. Just know that when you do get your phone stolen, put out a police report because you might need that. I didn't need it to claim it, which was kind of weird, but I have it in case they do ask for it. Easier to take care of. My hair was getting really, really long and I didn't know what to do with it. And I I knew summer was coming up, and I'm like, look, I just need to do something with it. And so between the gray hairs and everything and the three tone color, I'm like, just do something. And so they had a really experienced hairdresser on board. And yeah, so he was able to tone out the color, make it all nice and blendable. And the grays took all the red really nice. Um, it's already starting to, grow out a bit, or, the color's starting to come out the grays. But, it's part of maintenance, I guess. As I get ready for my month-long trip to Japan. It's coming May 8th. So, yeah, needless to say, 80% of my footage was on my other old phone. So I have some. Um, Most of the majority was on my phone. I do have some of the footage, so I will be trying to put something together for that. Um, just so, and then I've got some of the footage on here as well, my Osmo Pocket 3. So we'll be doing that. Looks good. So you're all set. Yeah. I mean, it still is a shocker that, a seasoned traveler like myself knew better. Um, you're so, we're so attuned to being nice Americans, whatever. As soon as anyone makes you feel anything uncomfortable, you should just walk away. Just walk away into any restaurant, there are tons of restaurants, tons of places that I could have ducked in. There was a gentleman that came up. He wanted a light, and you could tell he was on drugs, and he was just very jittery. And that should have been my first, like, indication, because he saw me on my phone. And instead of doing what I normally do, which was open up my jacket, put my phone in my front, and zip her up, instead I put it in my side pocket and I didn't zip it up, which was my mistake. Which, I'm a seasoned traveler. I should have known better. This is Barcelona, after all. So as soon as he started making me feel uncomfortable, I should have just walked right back into my hotel, or, just into a restaurant or a bodega, or, a conveni, whatever. And I didn't. So he bumped into me, grabbed my phone, and took off running. And that's immediately when I knew he had taken my phone. I'd gone upstairs, got my iPad, boom, 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 locked everything out in 2 seconds. So by the time he stopped running, the phone was already locked. Yeah, so, I didn't expect it. It's always something crazy, like when something like that happens, because you don't think about it. But it's like, it's all a bit of reaction time. You still feel violated. You still, somebody still pickpocketed you, but I knew the minute that it happened. So I knew better. And even a seasoned traveler, you can't let your guard down, especially in Barcelona. I mean, I knew better. And I set myself up for that. I should have just walked right back. I should have walked into a restaurant, or the hotel or whatever. Just gotten myself out of that situation. Anytime anyone felt you feel cramped or crowded or anything like that, you just walk away. And but I didn't. So I paid it. I paid the price. My friend was born in Japan. I told her about you going to Japan. She's so happy. Oh, it's going to be fun. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of looking forward to it, because I'm going with a purpose, because I'm going to learn Japanese. So I'm actually going to a language school for 30 days to try it out, to see if I can keep up with the class. Because if I can't, then it's just going to be a frustrating whole year if I pay for a whole year. So maybe I need to learn more or whatever before I go or whatever. But I wanted to do a 30-day trial. So I'm staying at, excuse me for one moment, guys. Just give me 1 second while I figure out what's wrong with him. then all of a sudden he needs to freaking know this. Hold on 1 second. I swear. It's like he wants to do this on purpose. All right. I don't know if y'all can hear him. I'm glad you disabled your phone. The guy who stole it got a pleasant. Oh, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did because a lot of people who do get pickpocketed aren't prepared. So they end up losing a lot more than just their phone. I don't know what my sister's German Shepherd is having a hard time right now. Like I said, I had it locked within 3 minutes. I was at the police station, which happened to be right around from where I was staying, right around the corner. So I was literally at the police station within 5 minutes of it being gone. So I think they were all kind of shocked. Hey, I knew where the police station was. I knew where to go, and boom, 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 I had everything done. Had it pinged, had the address, had everything where it was last pinged, everything. So, and here's a good tip for you. Definitely take a picture of your about so you know your IMEI and your serial number for your phone, because that is what actually is the markers for your phone. Luckily, I kept the original Apple receipt, which had that information. Otherwise, I didn't have it. And so it's hard for them to track a phone if they don't have the IMEI or the serial number of the phone. So being able to have that and give that to the police for the police report is actually something that is good to have. So even if you take a screenshot and just have it uploaded to the cloud, you'll always have it up there, or place it somewhere in one of your favorites or something. That way you always have it. Luckily, like I said, I had the original receipt from Apple that shows the IMEI and the serial number. So that was a step above. So having that was just key to have. Yeah, I heard Lindy's channel got hacked. Is that what you're referring to? Yeah, there are people out there, and it's bad because that's Lindy's income, and Jesus, people don't understand that, people live by that kind of stuff. But YouTube's easy. If you don't have a two step authenticity or verification, or you don't lock stuff down, or, make it harder. And it's funny because the way that Apple has their two-step authorization is they have the password and everything, but you've got to use your biometric as a second form. So it's either got to be your face or a fingerprint or something like that. It's not just phone and email. You have to have the biometric. And so therefore, if you don't have that, they won't let you access anything, or they'll lock the account. Which I kind of think is great, because even though they stole my phone and they could get past maybe one of them, they need my face or my fingerprint. And even though there's pictures and stuff on there, it's not the same. It won't accept a scanned photo or anything like that. So you have to be able to move the face in order for it to lock, or your fingerprint. So yeah, I'm telling you. So now I also have it on erase. So the minute that it touches any kind of Wi-Fi or anything like that, it'll erase all the data on the phone. So yeah, yeah, I heard about it. It's disgusting, the people that did do that, because that's Lindy's income. Changed her email address, everything. Now she's not getting any income at all, and the hackers are getting it, and that's just so sad. So sad. Oh, hey, sorry about that. Wow, that came up out of nowhere. Hello. Yeah. So lo and behold, yeah, your girl got hacked. I mean, your girl got pickpocketed in Barcelona. But again, thank God for insurance. I've got the, backup model, phone numbers, everything's been transferred, everything's been, the passwords have all been changed and biometrics have been updated and everything like that because my hair is now different, my hair color and everything else. So I redo all of it. But that's all right. It needs to happen. Um, but then, it's you also at first I was kind of like within 5 minutes, like I said, I was at the police station, but it's still rattling, that somebody still violated your personal space, took your stuff, and granted, I knew right away. I mean, as soon as the guy started taking off and running, I knew my phone was gone. So I wasn't stupid. I was stupid to allow it to happen, but what to do afterwards is, what makes or break it. Within the first, 5 minutes, I locked the phone, everything else, and was at a police station. So I got a description of the guy. I had a good look at him, the whole 9 yards, and he still might be in the area. Time is of the essence. Who knows? I don't know, but I didn't get hurt. I didn't go after him. That's a clear indication you could get stabbed, you could get hurt. I mean, a phone's not worth it, dude. I had insurance and I locked it down. A phone's not worth my life. So if you wanted it that bad, go for it, dude, because you ain't gonna get nothing from me. And like I said, it was down and locked within 5 minutes. Well, 3 minutes, and then 5 minutes I was at the police station. So my life is not worth a phone. Let him have it. Don't run after him. Don't, yeah, you can yell pickpocket and whatever, but nobody's going to interfere because of the same thing. I mean, they could stab them, whatever. It's their livelihood or whatever. I had insurance. So I was, last thing you need is to try to, run after the guy or whatever, and he runs you down an alleyway and you get jumped, and it's not worth it, guys. Not worth it. Was I heartbroken? Absolutely. 80% of my footage was on that phone for the content of my channel. Do I have some? Yes. Am I going to post what I have? Absolutely. But it's not going to be as much as I had. But I have my life and I'm okay with that. I'll just, oh, darn, have to go again. It happens. I can't change what happened. It is what it is, but the advice that I have, let it go. Do what you do, file a police report, everything else, and just, go on. Luckily, I still have my old iPhone 13 Pro Max, and when I got home, I just activated my phone numbers onto the old phone that I had and waited for the new one to come in. And when the new one came in, I just transferred it to the new one, and now we're fine. So I still have my old phone with me. So now I have the new phone, and it's like I never lost it. I just lost the footage. But I'm live. I'm healthy. I had insurance. Definitely, it was worth $150. Granted, I paid $150 to get the phone again. So, I mean, it was $300 versus $1,700, I think it was for, the lowest phone for the Pro Max. Money well spent, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So let's see. Hey, Larissa's in the house. Hi, honey. Larissa's in the house. She passed her third quarter, so she's only got one more quarter, and she wants another cruise, guys. So we might be taking another cruise together. That'll be kind of nice. Yeah, she's saying hello, hello. But yeah, so that was my pickpocketing experience in Barcelona. Bummed. Not gonna lie. It kind of took the wind out of my sails regarding Barcelona. I tried to do I've been doing the city tour bus, the hop on, hop off buses because you're trying to explore a lot of things in such a short amount of time. Every time the ship gets into a port, you only are there from like 8:30 in the morning until 4:30, and that's really not a lot of time. So in order to see what you have in such a short time, I've been doing the hop on, hop off buses. And it is great because you do get the history and everything else of the town that you're in and things like that. So I actually enjoy it because you get to see a lot and then go back to the places that you really like. And so I did that for most of the cities that I had visited. The only one I didn't do it was Gibraltar because it was just the rock, the Rock of Gibraltar. Yeah, it has some caves in it. It has the monkeys and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, yeah, I've seen monkeys before, so it wasn't a very big what do you call it, draw for me to go to the top of Gibraltar, the rock. So I walked around and just, it was kind of nice because they had it was UK, so all of the currency was British pounds versus euro. Everywhere else was euro. So here's a tip: if you are traveling internationally, bring a debit card because you can get a better exchange rate out of the ATM than you can, say, a currency exchange at the airport or something like that. So I was trying to find a currency exchange in the Azores, but they ran out of money. Then I remember I had my debit cards that don't charge an international transaction fee. So I used my debit card to get euros out. And then anytime I ever used my credit card, which again didn't have any international transaction fees, I always made sure I used it in euros, not in US, because they charge an extra surcharge if you use US. So I just kept it as euros. And, it was a great way to get the different currencies without having to pay a lot in transaction fees. So definitely bring a debit card with you and get monies that way via the ATM versus a currency exchange. You're going to get a better rate. So, and that's with any travel. So I'm going to be doing that for Japan. I did it for Gibraltar, which had London pound, British pounds. And then I did it in the cities in Spain, which were euro. So I got euros from the ATM. So very easy to do. So there's a little tip and trick. I'll be putting that through one of my cruise videos because, again, I was trying to find the currency exchange. When I finally did find the currency exchange in the Azores, they ran out of money. I'm like, okay. So then I learned the trick about using an ATM. So much easier. Oh my God. And yeah, I found a new toy. I love drone shots like follow me shots and bird's eye view and pan outs and pan ins and things like that. Unfortunately, I bought the DJI package from Get Lost Mike. And unfortunately, you need an FAA drone license for it. And so, oh my God, are you serious? Really? I'm not looking to go miles on end and yada, yada, yada. I just want some footage, right? Well, I found this little self-flying camera that a cruiser had. He was using it in the Azores, and I'm like, what is that? Oh my gosh. So lo and behold, I got it. And the footage is amazing. So I'll be putting my DJI drone up for sale because I'm never going to use it. I'm going to use this self-flying camera, which is exactly the only thing I really need. And the maximum it goes up is like 20 feet. It follows me, it dolly tracks me, it side tracks me, it bird's eye view, it does an orbit, it does, everything that I want it to do. So it's like, what else do I need? So I'm going to be incorporating some of those in my travel trips because I think that's so cool. And so I'll be doing a lot in Japan, which will be interesting because normally they don't allow, if you disturb anyone else, they don't like that. So I don't know how that's going to work. I might have to go early morning where there's nobody in order to get some of the nice panoramic shots. Because once people arrive, then it's very rude to disrupt anybody else or disturb anybody else. So yeah, it'll be an interesting trip, but it'll be fun nonetheless. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. So are those going to be some kind of cool shots? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Coming away. So I'm starting to actually start packing for Japan. So I'm getting my, my all-in-one hair soap, face wash, body wash, Dr. Bronner's magic soap. And then I've got my my Matador soap bar bag and my melts, and I'm starting to get all of my little stuff together. My Tessin GAN converter. I'm trying to get all of my stuff together. Crazy, right? Send me the info on the flying camera. Oh yeah, I'll show it to you. Hold on. Here you go. This is the flying camera. And basically, it is a self-flying camera. The cruise ship actually allowed this. It's called Hover, Hover. All right. And it literally pans out like this, has a gimbal, and it only has certain preset modes. So you've got hover, you've got zoom out and zoom in, you've got orbit, which goes around, bird's eye view, which goes straight up, and it can rotate as it goes up. And then they've got a custom one, and then they've got follow me modes. You can also do dolly track, which is where you're in front and it walks with you. And it's basically caged. So it lands on your hand and it takes off from your hand. And so this is just a flying camera, very lightweight. You can tell the sensors at the bottom. Again, this is the Hover X1. I didn't get the Pro. Honestly, I got it for, it does 2K 60 frames per second, which is fine for YouTube. Honestly, your shots are only, the battery lasts about 11 minutes, and then I bought 2 extra batteries. So then folding it, just fold it, and I bought the extra case for it. So it just pops right in like that. And so these do, like, they do come apart, if you can see. Like if it crashes, you can see that they kind of come apart. I don't know if you can. But see, kind of break away. That's okay. Just put it together and give it a little push in, and it'll reset itself. So if it crashes, it won't break. Very flexible. Oh, see, that one doesn't come in, so I gotta do it once over, lock everything back in, look good. Voila. Then you just hold it and it just, it resets the gimbal and then it records. And it's an internal record, goes off with your phone. It has an app, and then you download what you want and it goes into your photos, whatever you decide to keep. Oop. There you go. So I just put it in a little case, and then this is what I take. So definitely getting rid of my DJI, FAA, all that kind of crap to run, to a self-flying camera. Don't need special license for it or anything like that. So it's called the Hover, Hover X1. You can check a look on YouTube. I'm also going to probably put it in my store because it's so cool. Oh yeah, for Burning Man, it's perfect for Burning Man. But note that the batteries only last 11 minutes. But here's the thing too. Watch out for Burning Man because that does have sand, does have the dust. And that does get into the rotors. So yeah, after a while it might not work because you got to clean out the propellers to make sure that they are free flowing. So Burning Man, with it being with the dust and everything else, be careful. I'm just saying, sand is its enemy for any kind of drone. But as long as you're aware of it and keep it clean, you should be good to go. Just know that. Be perfect for Burning Man though. Absolutely. Going to use it for my trips. It's great for a solo content creator because this gives you the extra shots that you need that are more like cinematic and be able to show where you're at and not have to worry about having somebody take your picture or whatever. You can still show where you're at very easily with this kind of a camera. Would only use it on good days and cleaning after. Yeah, as long as you do that, you're good to go. I'm just saying that you do have to be careful with sand because it will get into those propellers and then it makes the turning stiff. So, and it could break. So definitely making sure that you clean it after each use during Burning Man, you're good. We all know how fine that playa sand is. Playa sand goes everywhere. So, yeah, just be careful. Just making sure you're cleaning it. Bring a little, air, compressed air to clean out the internal, functions of it when you're done using it. Yeah, you should be good. So, anyways, that's pretty much all that's happening. I'm going through the footage now to see what I have to sacrifice, to put together at least, I have the 7 days. Oh my gosh, the crossing was insane. Going from New Jersey to San Miguel Azores in the Azores, and literally it was 7 days of the most rockiest seas. The first 3 days, a lot of us didn't have our ship legs. We call them sea legs. Okay, so all of us were kind of like stumbling across and everything else because the boat would actually rock like severely. and they were 14 to 20-foot waves coming up. And literally, we would be like this all night long. And it was great. I mean, I don't get seasick. I don't have motion sickness. So to me, it was like rocking me to sleep, and I was okay. But there were some that were not handling it very well. And it was 6 days out of the 7. We had one good day of sailing, and the rest of it was nope. They closed off the top floors while we were sailing. It was just, yeah, it was not fun at all. And it was cold, it was windy, it was cloudy. We had no. We had one good day of sea of cruising day out of the 7 for crossing. And then once we got into the Strait of Gibraltar, which I was kind of bummed because I got up early at 4 o'clock and I wanted to go to the top floor of the ship on the 15th deck, and I wanted to watch us go through the Strait of Gibraltar, because within that span, you had Africa on one side and you had, the Strait or Spain on the other hand, on the other side. So you have this small strait for the ship to go through. And they decided to not only close off the solarium, which is the main enclosed pool area for adults, they also closed off the top floor during our passing through the strait, which I was really kind of pissed. So I couldn't get the iconic, pass through the strait where Africa on one side, and it was night crossing. So you could see the lights on Africa and you could see the lights in Spain. And there's just this strait with beacons. So you had the beacons flashing to show where the big ships could go without grounding. So yeah. And I wasn't able to do that. This is kind of bummed. So yeah, that was between Cadiz and Gibraltar. So the Strait of Gibraltar is a small little channel. And so, yeah, wasn't able to get there. So they closed off, and I was pretty mad. So it's like, you told us that you're going at 4 a.m. So 4 a.m. I get up to go watch the crossing, and they blocked off both accesses to the front of the ship. Well, what's the point? Even at the back of the ship, I couldn't even get the back of the ship after we had passed. I could see it on the back end. Yep, they closed the back end too. Well, then why tell us you're going through it at that time? Oh. Let me see. Let's see what. Hey, Graham! Graham from down under. Australia. Nog, Australia. Graham's in the house. Yeah, I know it's been crazy. But yeah. So then I'm going to go through the footage, see what I have. I don't know. I have some of it, but not all of it. And I'm kind of bummed because I had some really nice footage. I went to Castle Belver in Malaga. Oh, it was beautiful. Was it Malaga? No, it was Mallorca. And in Mallorca, it was Sunday, and Sunday is free to the museums. So I was able to go into Castle Belver, and it was beautiful. It was like seeing an internal, like Colosseum on the inside. So you turn around and there were all these columns, but in the inside of it, they actually had a wonderful, like, historical about Palma de Mallorca. And so All that footage got taken. I have some, but not. I don't have any of that. I don't have any of Cartagena, going through the mines, the old mines that they had in Cartagena. Um, what are you going to do? So I have some footage. Oh, I did see some cherry blossoms in Cadiz, which was awesome because I wasn't able to get them in Japan. So I got to see them in Cadiz. Yay. So I do have that footage, so which is kind of nice. It's not what I wanted to hear. The bride just booked us onto a cruise. 4 days Sydney. Well, I mean, that's different because you're going to be more towards the inland. If we like it, we'll do a longer one. Graham, you're still going to be close. You're going to be closer to shore. My problem with what I did was because I left New York and went transatlantic for 7 days out in the open Atlantic. So, our first stop was in the Azores 7 days later. So the reason why it rocked so bad was there was no shelf. It was completely out on the waters. So with that kind of a cruise that you're going on, you're staying closer to land. So you will still be on the ocean shelf. So it won't be as rocky going out. You'll be a distance away, but it won't be enough to um have like, unless it's like, hurricane season or something like that, or crazy. But you guys are going into winter, so you guys are past the season, hurricane seasons and stuff. So you're more or less going towards the cold, so you should be fine. A cruise should be, like I said, you're only doing it for 4 days. I did it for 15. My cruise was 15 days long. That was a long cruise, guys. I don't know if I would do that again, honestly. That was a long cruise. The first 7 days, I was like glad to see land. But like I said, to me, I didn't get seasick. So for me, it was kind of like rocking to sleep. So it was kind of nice. And I got my sea legs within like 2 or 3 days. So all of us, who were stumbling at first, now we're walking like nobody's problem because, you just get used to it. You figure out a rhythm and you learn to, bend and flex with the ship, honestly. So all of us pretty much had our sea legs by the second or third day. So then it stayed. Once we passed the strait and we got in, it wasn't as rocky. Excuse me. We had better sailing days because we were in the Mediterranean, so we were more closer to land. So it wasn't as bad. It was windy. There were a couple of windy days, but for the most part, it wasn't bad. Fuel prices have gone crazy. Oh, $2.50 a liter. It's now $3.20 a liter. Yeah. Don't understand our reluctance to tow the house around. And it is tough because the same thing's happening here. I mean, Texas, we're used to paying around $2.45 for a gallon of regular. And regular, I think I paid today $3.65 for regular, which is over $1.20 than we normally pay. So yeah, prices for gas have gone crazy, let alone diesel. Diesel's hitting around $5, which for Texas is unheard of. It's like, wow. Now guys out in the East Coast and West Coast, you guys have been dealing with all that all the time. But for Texas, it's unusual for us to have prices that high. because we do have our own oil refineries and stuff here in Texas. So it's just, part of me thinks that it's just price gouging it, because we have the reserves, we have the oil. But we can't say that, right? It's government. Can't say that. Whatever. But I feel you. I mean, sometimes it is cheaper to cruise than deal with, towing and gas prices and things like that. I mean, I was supposed to take a road trip up to Rhode Island, which I normally do every summer. I'm actually canceling that. I'm taking my daughter. If she passes her 4 quarters, she's going on another cruise. So I'll be taking her on a cruise, instead of going up to Rhode Island for the summer, which normally I spend a couple weeks up there. But gas prices being the way they are, it's just easier to just go on a cruise. I agree with you. I'm with the same thinking there, Graham. You're not the only one. So yeah, not the only one thinking the same. I do have to go up to the Beet Harvest in the end of September, which I'll be going to the Beet Harvest, and doing that for October. But I will be in Japan until June 8th, and then I'll come back. Probably in July or August, I'll be going with my daughter for her cruise. And then end of September, I go to the Beet Harvest for October. And that'll round everything out. $5 diesel. Oh, geez, $135 a liter. We're paying $11.80 a gallon. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Ouch, Graham. That hurts. I hear you. Gas prices have gone crazy. I will admit to that. So I'm having to tone down the van life a bit. And it's just easier to travel by plane. I'm not going to die. I'm not going to lie. Because I'm going to Japan. I'm flying, and I'm, not driving, not paying fuel, not paying any of that. I got smart and booked my tickets back in February. I priced out the tickets just if I were to buy them right now, and it's like close to $1,100 for Zip Air, which is the no frills one. I can imagine what it is if I did like, ANA or EVA or anything like that. I don't even want to know what their prices would be. I ended up paying 43,000 points, so $430 for my trip back in February. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, my sister's dog is going. My sister, I don't know if y'all can hear her like howling away, but yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I hear you. I feel you. It has not been fun. So I am going to call it a night, guys, because yeah, I'm still downloading footage, seeing what I have, being able to put out some videos of what I've done. I just got to figure out what I have left or what I could salvage from my pickpocket adventure in Barcelona, and see what footage I have. I had tours of the ship. I had, tours of the cities I was at, like extensive. I went to like Castle Bilber inside the museum and all that, and I lost all that footage to the pickpocketers. So I don't know what footage I have left, or what actually made it to the cloud, what didn't make it to the cloud. I did, try to do backup before I left the ship, but obviously that didn't work because a lot of footage is missing. But hang in there. Other than that, I'm gonna start doing a series on what I'm packing for Japan because I will be going light. I will not be bringing a lot because you can always get a lot of things at whatever destination you're at. So it's definitely worth doing it that way. Yes, I'm glad to be back with my pups. Even though that's my sister's dog. Bo, stop it. Uh. You'll have to excuse him. I miss my pups, don't get me wrong. I do miss my babies. And so it's nice to have my time with my babies. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this week. While I try and recover, I'm sorry I got sick really bad to the point where I wasn't getting out of bed. And so I got sick when I got back. And I think it was just because the stress of everything and the pickpocketers and trying to get home and after a long day trip, everything else, and the flight and I got sick and I was down I got back on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was completely down. I was completely down. So that really, even though I'm still at about 90%, I'm still not 100, but I'm getting there. So thanks everyone for joining me. I appreciate you. I will be putting out videos on, what to do if you get pickpocketed in Barcelona and what to do and how to avoid it, obviously, even though I'm a seasoned traveler and didn't listen to my own damn advice. Hey, it goes to show. Don't run after them. Your life's not worth a phone. Let them have it. So I thank you all for joining me, guys. Please be kind out there to yourself and each other. Be safe. And as always, stop dreaming and start living it. I'll see you guys later. See you next week. Bye. Bye.